It's Friday, the 26th of May, 2023. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's get into story number 1. The PwC scandal has escalated sharply after the Federal Finance Department actually directed the Big Four consulting firm to stand down any personnel who knew about tax leaks from government contracts.
Finance Secretary Jenny Wilkinson emailed senior executive staff on Wednesday and said the government's 413 contracts with major suppliers, not just PwC, but all major suppliers, will be tightened so that existing and future contracts could be cancelled for bad behaviour. She also said the department has directed PwC to stand down personnel who knew of the government leaks spread by former partner Peter Collins. She called the leaks an abuse of confidence and trust. She also said procurement rules would be changed to provide greater flexibility for contract managers to terminate a contract for material breach. Now, the background to this is that Collins did work for the government. He signed a confidentiality agreement. He then took the knowledge he got from working for the government and used that to win contracts for PwC. He's been deregistered, but it's emerged that many other PwC staffers knew about the practice, and the group's CEO stood down earlier this month. Treasury has now referred the scandal to the Australian Federal Police to consider a criminal investigation.
2 questions, Sean. Is this the most kind of significant action yet, and will there be more?
I think yes and yes. Wilkinson said Treasury and Finance are coordinating advice on how to deal with PwC from a whole of government perspective. That's a challenge this year because they've already been awarded $255 million in government contracts this financial year. The Greens, very influential in the Senate, have been very critical of the firm yesterday, questioning why the AFP was working with PwC. Clearly a disaster for the company itself. Not only the Financial Review talking about it, but Talkback Radio is general media. It's a PR mess because it questions the integrity of the firm. I reckon the ramifications of this one will be very wide.
Story number 2, Sean, power bills will jump by hundreds of dollars a year, rising by up to 25% from July 1, obviously adding to just the cost of living woes right across the country.
The Australian Energy Regulator yesterday said it will allow the default market offer to rise between 19.5% and 23.7%, follows an 18% increase last year. The default market offer puts a price cap on what retailers can charge customers who remain on these standing offers. There's about 600,000 households on the default market offers in New South Wales, South East Queensland and South Australia. Small business customers are facing an increase of somewhere between 14.7% and 28.9%. Now, the announcement came as Victoria's energy retail regulator said default market offers in the state will rise by 25%, New South Wales 22 to 23%, South Australia 20%. When asked about the price hikes, Albanese, the Prime Minister, said the Australian Energy Regulator Chair, Claire Savage, said energy prices were 40% lower than they were in October last year. Still, they seem more expensive to me. We're all going to pay more for power.
Sean, story number 3, not even Snoop Dogg seems to be able to save the falling sales of wine label 19 Crimes, which is part of the Treasury Wine Estates portfolio. Yesterday, Treasury's boss Tim Ford said the brand was slipping.
The iconic rapper is the face of 19 Crimes brand and one of the key reasons for its great success in the US particularly, but things aren't going so well at the moment. Treasury Wine also owns Penfolds, Wolf Blass and Wynns, and yesterday warned of a downturn of consumption of wine, particularly its cheaper varieties, notably in the UK and Australia, and that's expected to continue for a while. Treasury will implement a range of cost-cutting initiatives, consider new supply arrangements and potentially divest some of its brands. Treasury share price fell nearly 8% yesterday.
Story number 4, Commonwealth Bank has spent a day talking to large investors about new technology at the bank, including an app which the bank hopes to roll out to nearly 8 million users.
Australia's largest bank has 700 software engineers and they're regarded the lead major bank in technology terms at least. It's set to launch a new banking app for the 7.7 million app users. Now, the app itself will include CommSec onto the bank app, which makes it a lot easier for people to use. Those 7.7 million app users combined log in 9.2 million times a day. Pretty incredible. The bank's also going to launch a smart mini payments terminal. Generative AI is at the heart of what the Commonwealth Bank is doing. It's been working on it for years. It hopes it will help cross-sell products, prevent scams and aid call centre staff in answering customer questions. New app coming soon.
And finally, Sean, story number 5. It is that time of year again when the AFR's Rich List is released, and iron ore magnate Gina Rinehart has taken the top spot for the 4th year running, worth, how about this, $37.4 billion.
Yes, next is perennial number 2, Andrew Forrest. Maybe I shouldn't call him perennial number 2. Anyway, then packaging king Anthony Pratt. Then a 90-year-old Harry Triguboff, the owner of Meriton. He's number 4, followed by Clive Palmer. Now, Palmer's wealth has increased because he pegged iron ore tenements in the Pilbara about 40 years ago, and now he gets a $500 million royalty check each year from Chinese-owned CITIC, who mines them. Rounding out the top 10 are the Atlassian boys, Mike Cannon-Brooks and Scott Farquhar, Glencore boss Ivan Glassenberg, Canva couple Melanie Perkins and Cliff Obrecht, and Westfield doyen Frank Lowy.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Friday, the 26th of May, 2023. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. If 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed wherever you listen to podcasts. That actually comes with a bunch of interviews and things. And today's interview is a cracker. It is all about investing in art. It's a lot of fun. Don't forget the Amazon Echo smart speaker range comes with Alexa built in. Simply say, Alexa, play the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed podcast to catch the latest episode, and you can get yours now at amazon.com.au. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.